What's going on, fellow Platinum Trophy chasers? Today, we're going to do a Platinum Trophy review on Diablo 4, and the total amount of trophy points in Diablo 4 is 1,305. This game is a total of 26 trophies with 1 Platinum, 6 Gold, 12 Silver, and 7 Bronze trophies. To start, this game doesn't have any glitch trophies, which is a great sigh of relief because some of the trophies in this game are not forgiving in the slightest. Before you start playing this game, prepare yourself for a wild ride and potentially a few mental breakdowns and broken controllers. This will take you quite some time to platinum. It took me 130 hours to platinum this game. Since this game isn't a quick and easy plat, I'm going to dive deeper into the trophies to paint a better picture of the task you are potentially going to take on. There are 5 different classes that you can pick, from which are Barbarian, Druid, Necromancer, Rogue, and Sorcerer. Each of these classes have their own trophy, which is to get 100 kills/summons with the class-specific abilities, except the Barbarian is only get 50 kills. Like any other RPG though, some of the classes are better than others, and it really comes down to your type of playstyle. There's only one trophy that requires you to play in the PvP areas of the map, and that is Master Combatant, which is to get 5 kills in PvP. I just kept running around looking for people at the altars to try and kill, and I really didn't have too many issues with this trophy as I was a Necromancer, and I just kept spamming my minions everywhere, and I went 5 for 5 in my battles and got lucky and then just never went back into PvP again. There's really no point to go into PvP unless you just enjoy PvP or you're going for the trophies. Otherwise, there's really nothing else in there. The next grouping of trophies is to kill 666 of certain groups of enemies. You don't have to really try for these 5 trophies as they'll pop as you play through the campaign and side missions. And there are a total of 4 trophies for upgrading and crafting items. For convenient crafts, which is to craft an elixir and any incense, and potent alterations, which is to upgrade a piece of armor, jewelry, and a weapon. And you'll get these naturally just through progressing through the game, because you have to talk to each person, and if you don't upgrade your stuff, you're just gonna get smacked. So you basically get these ones automatically. The other 2 will take a little longer to get though, as First Aid is to upgrade your healing potion to the max level, and it sounds quick and easy, but you literally cannot upgrade to the final tier until you reach level 90. And the last one is Curious Collector, which is to imprint 10 items at the Oculus from the Codex of Power, and once you start getting more legendary gear drops, this will be pretty quick, but you really can't get this right away, and the more you get more Codex of Power options, the more dungeons you complete. The final trophies before the grind really starts is Esther Sightseer, which is to explore the whole map, Emancipation, which is to complete the campaign, and Dedicated Protector, which is to reach level 50. Which either will most likely happen before you beat the campaign or shortly after, basically depending how many side missions and dungeons you run. And now that you've beaten the campaign and completed the capstone dungeon, you've gained access to World Tier 3, which you'll be in this world tier until you're roughly level 75. The monsters are stronger, and the real game truly begins at this point. The first trophy you'll be going into in this world tier is Worldly Slayer, which is to kill any world boss. It sounds like a battle and a half, but this one really isn't bad. There are always a few players in the area that end up running over to the world boss with insane gear and builds and will just really smack the world boss in like 2 seconds. The next trophy is Turning the Tides, which is to collect 1,000 Amarant Cinder and Helltide zones. This one will take a few zones to collect, but because they're really not always out, they spawn, it seems like every few hours, and you just gotta basically just wait for them to spawn. While waiting for the Helltide zones to spawn, you can start working on getting the Chaotic Whispers trophy though, which is to open 10 caches of chaos from the Tree of Whispers. Sounds quick and easy, but unless the RNG gods are truly on your side, you will have to open a literal boatload of these before you can get the trophy. In order to open a cache though, you need to collect 10 Grim Favors, which are activities scattered throughout the map, and they all come with different favor earned amounts. Each activity can either give you 1 to 5 favors depending on the activity, and when I got this trophy, I was the farthest thing from lucky. I had to literally open 84 of these caches before I got the 10 caches to open of the chaos ones. When you turn the favors in, you might be tempted to open like the other ones like weapon or armor caches, but honestly, I would really wait until you get the 10 caches of chaos first because it seems like they literally never want to pop. But as you work on all these, you'll be grinding levels for hours on end and will finally be around level 75. At that point, you can then complete the capstone dungeon to unlock World Tier 4, where the rest of the trophies are. And depending on your luck, you can only have 3 trophies left on your main character once you get to this point. The first one will be Living Nightmares, which is to complete a Sacred and Ancestral Nightmare dungeon. These are basically as harder versions of regular dungeons, and you can either make or find the sigils to spawn these. The Sacred ones are unlocked in World Tier 3, so you can do this one right away, but the Ancestral ones you can't do until World Tier 4, so you can't get this obviously to get to the World Tier 4. But the lower the tier of the Nightmare dungeons, the easier they are. The higher the tier, the harder they are, and the better experience you'll get for your glyphs. So I think the very lowest tier, you only get like, I want to say it's pretty low, like 20 XP at one point. And then when you get like really high up, you can get like 200. And these glyphs basically just make your character super strong. Now, depending on how you're playing though, you'll either get Devoted Protector, which is reach level 100 with a character, or End of the First Mother, which is defeat Uber Lilith first. Now, I got End of the First Mother first because after multiple attempts of absolutely getting annihilated and just getting clapped repeatedly by this boss, because she has a ton of abilities that literally will one-hit you. I'm not even joking. Like, this boss is literally insane. How I ended up getting this though is I just couldn't take it anymore, and I went in the chat and I'm like, you know what? I'll have someone do this for me who has this insane builds. I paid him 200 million gold and a stack of living steel, and this guy had no problem. He walked in, had the Ball Lightning Zeus Tank Sorcerer build, which is currently the best build in the game, and he literally just melted this boss for me, which you'll see. Once you have these though, you'll be down to the final trophy in the game before the plat. This trophy is not forgiving even in the slightest. It has the potential to make you want to rage quit the plat altogether, even more than the Uber Lilith did. This trophy is true perseverance, which is get level 50 with a hardcore character. The reason this trophy isn't forgiving, because if your character dies in hardcore, you don't respawn. You have to literally make a new character and start completely over again. The quickest way I found to do this is to run a Necromancer. Your damage isn't as high as a Chain Lightning Sorcerer or any rogue build, for basically any rogue build in general, but it's much safer as your minions will be able to take most of the damage for you and you can always run away. What I did is I ran the dopamine tunnels over and over again, but you only have to do the first part of the dungeon, and you don't free anyone. Once you kill the monsters, you teleport to the city, reset the dungeon, and go back to your portal, and you'll go right to the beginning of the dungeon again and keep doing it. Just rinse and repeat for 4 to 5 hours, and if you're lucky, you'll get to level 50 without dying. But an important tip though, the Butcher can spawn in this dungeon. If he does, I wouldn't even attempt to kill him. Just run away until you can teleport out and then reset the dungeon. He can one-hit you, so it's really not worth it. But if you're playing in Season 2, the Bloodseekers can also spawn, and I would do the exact same thing. Just run away and reset, and hopefully you can do this one in one shot without having to do this multiple times and break multiple controllers. But with that, let's jump right into grading this game. I grade this game on 3 categories from a scale of 1 to 5. The first category is time. I would give this game a 5 for time. The main reason is this game is very grindy and has a few trophies that are not forgiving and can potentially turn to endless hours just to get to level 100, and it really feels like an eternity. The second category is trophy difficulty. I'll give this a 4. The only reason I'm not giving it a 5 is because you can get people to help you with the Uber Lilith trophy if you pay them enough. If you don't run a class that has boss slang builds, this trophy is a literal nightmare. But if you couldn't have someone help you, this would definitely be a 5. And the last category is rage-inducing. I give this one a 4 again, just because of the Uber Lilith trophy, but mainly because of the hardcore trophy. I got lucky and didn't die, but I can only imagine if you would die at like level 48 or 49 and have to start over, I would literally lose it. But overall, I really did enjoy playing this game, and if I had to do it all over again, I would do the platinum again, without a doubt. With that being said though, this game definitely isn't for everyone. This game is a commitment and a repetitive grinding, which can be a turn-off to some people. I enjoy these types of games and interacting with other players. What's nice about this game though is if you're a group person or a solo player, it's both from both aspects. I played mostly solo, minus Uber Lilith, and I got invited to a few parties here and there, and it's fun playing in the groups, but I'm most of a solo person, but both playstyles are super entertaining. I would only recommend this game though if you don't mind putting over 100 hours on one game and you have time to get this done in 3 months. Each Diablo season is only 3 months, and after that your character gets moved over to the Eternal Realm, and you have to make a new character to play the new season's content, which is kind of sucks, but I mean, I get it. But let me know in the comments how long it took you to plat in this game and what games you'd like to see in the future. Make sure you subscribe and join the chase so you don't miss any reviews in the future. Until next time, remember, plat chasing isn't a hobby, it's a lifestyle.